everyone, welcome back to Blue Piano Soaps. Ellen here, and today I'm really excited because I have my new lighting, so hopefully it's really making a difference in the lighting quality of the videos. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed, and it also should be hiding some shadows, so hopefully this is going to work a lot better. And also I like that I'm facing the camera this time, so I can really see my space here. Today we're doing something different. You're gonna be so surprised, right? We're going to do some melt and pour soaps, and I use melt and pour a lot during fall because I have these really cute molds that are whimsical and they're for Halloween. And they're smaller soaps. Ooh, this one's black, so it's hard to see, but it's like a bat and a pumpkin and some ghosts. And they're smaller. When the soap comes out of them, they're not as big, but it's a great filler for when I go to markets. Sometimes I run out of actual soaps, soap bars, cold process soap, I guess I should say. And this is kind of a nice filler. I can charge less for them because they're small, and I also charge less for them because they are melt and pour soap. Not as much goes into making them, obviously. Kids seem to love them, and they really seem to sell well. And so again, I kind of use this as a filler. And I don't just use the melt and pour base. That's really what I use it for, as a base. I add things to my melt and pour so that it's a little bit better than just simple melt and pour soap. So the first thing obviously you want to do is you want to get yourself a nice high quality melt and pour base. I usually get mine from Brambleberry or from Wholesale Supplies Plus, the Crafter's Choice one. And if you can, try to get low sweat. Because the melt and pour soap does sweat, and specifically if you're doing outdoor markets, you're going to be in for a shock, because a soap like this, let's say one of these ghosts, can be melted water, literally in a package, within a couple of hours, exposed, you know, to hot temperatures. So I like to get low sweat, and I like to use melt and pour towards fall when it's cooler. And what I do is I don't know if you can see it here. Let me see if I can move it. This is, I bought it at Goodwill. It is a little, like, crock pot rice cooker. And it works great. It's a little off camera so you can't see it. Here it is. The inside of this particular one I have is aluminum, and you always hear don't mix soap and aluminum, and that's true, but I have found that that's true for cold process soap, not so much for melt and pour. I have melted little melt and pour batches in here, and I can tell you it's come out fine. It's on warm, and it's ready to go. And so we're gonna get started. What you want to do is you want to cut, obviously, your melt and pour theory of when you bake things. For example, if you're making potatoes, you want to kind of cut them the same size, because obviously ones that are thinner are going to bake quicker than ones that are thicker. And it's the same concept with melting these blocks. You want to try to have them cut as similar to each other as you possibly can, and here they are. Let's see, I'll hold it up, you can see them. I'm going to just simply dump them in to my little aluminum rice cooker. So I think I missed a piece. And then what I add to this as well is I add 1 ounce of shea butter. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put that in. Okay, that was a blooper. It was a little off camera, but let me just assure you that that was a blooper. Yeah, you want to put the shea butter in, and then I add about 1/2 ounce of cocoa butter as well. All right. And then I also add a little bit of sweet almond oil, and I add in about 1 ounce. About 1 ounce. And then I put the lid on. So here it is. It's just ready to go. It's just going to sit there. And a lot of times what I like to do is I like to have a pot of this going while I'm making cold process soap, because it's a way of being able to do kind of 2 things at one time. So I have 2 pots of the melt and pour going, and I'm going to bring you back when it is nice and melted. I'll let you know how long it took to get it melted, and then okay everyone, so we're back. So the melt and pour in my rice cooker is completely melted, and I promised that I was going to tell you how long it took. I would say that it took probably 15 minutes. Let me show it to you. It's hot, so I don't want to burn myself. So there it is. You can see it's completely melted. It's completely incorporated all the goodness that we put into that melt and pour base. And what I like to do is I like to do one color at a time. So for example, here we have ghosts, and I know that I just want these white. So I can go ahead and I can fill these up with the color the way it is. So what do you use to color melt and pour soap? What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to pour. I'm going to pour a little bit of this a couple different ways. This is a color block from Brambleberry. It's called Non-Bleeding Perfect Orange, and what I can do is I can cut a little piece, and when we're talking a little piece, we're talking a little piece, okay? This is what I'm going to cut. I mean, just like a little tiny corner. See if you can see that. I'm going to dip it in or dump it into my melt and pour, which I think because I have the studio lights on for the video, I can tell that this is hardening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it into the microwave real quick. Look at that. It's on my spatula. And we don't want to waste any of that goodness. So I'm just going to kind of take it off with my spoon. Let me go ahead and zap that just really quickly in my microwave. That's why I love having a microwave in here now. Okay, so I zapped it up just to get it a little more melted and warm. Our little orange color block pieces in there. Take a stainless steel spoon and just stir. And you can see that just that little color block has already started to turn the color of this. Now, nearly not enough. Okay, so we go ahead and we do another little piece. Let's put them in there, stir, and I can see it on the bottom, so stir really well, scrape the bottom, and it's getting there, but it still needs a lot more, but we'll just add some more. Now the other thing I could do, if I didn't have a color block or I didn't want to use a color block, is I could use soap colors. This is a soap coloring kit that I got off of Amazon, and if you open it up, this is for Melt and Pour soap, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it has 10 different colors that you can drop in to change the color of your melt and pour soap. So it's got blue, purple, pink, yellow, red, black, which we're going to use. It's got sunset red and sunset yellow. I'm going to take a little bit of that sunset red and I'm going to pour just a drop in. Whoops. I would say that was another blooper. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, that shouldn't have fallen in there. So I poured a little drop of the red just to kind of get this going a little bit. Come on, let's get to a pumpkin orange. Let's stir. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's pretty much pumpkin color. It could be a little darker, but I can live with this. So you get the idea. So I'm going to take my rubbing alcohol and I'm going to rub my mold, spray my mold. And I'm going to make sure that my mold is on top of a pan that will help me to easily move this once it's filled. You don't want to try and move this bendable mold once it's filled. You want something underneath it that will make that a lot easier. So we're just going to pour. And these I do to the top because they're smaller anyway. And so I don't think I'm going to get to the third one, which is a little bit of a bummer. But that's okay. We'll make more. And then I just go ahead and I just tap it down a little bit and I just do a quick spray with the rubbing alcohol just to get rid of any air bubbles that are in there. And I'm just going to continue now to do this with the purple and the black. Once I pull these out of the molds, these 3 pumpkins, I'm going to continue to make more and more pumpkins. So I don't want to keep dirtying up a different container each time. So I keep my purple, my container with my orange aside, and when I pull these out, that container is ready to go to make another batch of pumpkin. What I did is I forgot to put fragrance in those pumpkins, which you probably figured out. We're not going to make that same mistake with the bats. That's our little friendly ghost. It's going to be so cute. Here's our skull. And here is our other ghost. While my ghosts and my bats and my witches and my skeletons are hardening up, I wanted to show you that I'm also, with my other batch of melt and pour soap, I'm going to be using these molds, which are so pretty. The soap comes out so pretty in them. Can you see them? And this one. And I love to use these for, again, for melt and pour soap. Don't mind the pans underneath them. These are just old baking sheets that I just continuously use. Again, just to act as a firm base for these sort of flimsy molds. You don't want to try to pick this up when it's full. You want to pick it up with a pan underneath. So I have what's remaining of the melt and pour batter. And in this one, we are going to do something a little bit different. We are going to add Mango Tango from Nurture's Soap Supplies. Instead of doing just a drop color or the color block, we're going to actually add this mica. So I'm showing you how to color melt and pour several different ways. So that was I put in there about 3 full tips of this popsicle stick. You know me, I never really measure perfectly. And let's see how this Mango Tango comes out, because these are going to be really pretty soaps for a guest bathroom. People will buy these at markets like crazy. And again, I can charge a little less for them because they're a lot easier to make than cold processed soap. And of course cold processed soap is better, but for just a cute little beautiful guest soap, there's nothing wrong with doing melt and pour. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite soapers who does YouTube videos, Eden Secret, Karen, on there from Eden Secret, if you watch some of her videos when she talks about melt and pour soap, she mentions how she actually started her business strictly doing melt and pour soap. So don't let anybody tell you that, you know, melt and pour is bad, or it's just, you know, like kind of, I don't know, turn their nose at you. There's nothing wrong with it. It makes beautiful soap, and as long as you add, as long as you use the melt and pour as a base, as long as you add goodies to it, it makes a beautiful, beautiful soap. Let's try this one. Let me just, I should have done this beforehand. Let me fill up. Oops. A lot of soapers are using some new spray bottles to put glitter on. Let me spray my molds with rubbing alcohol, and I haven't bought one of those yet, but I want to try it. I'm going to take my glitter and I'm going to put some on the bottom, because keep in mind the bottom is really going to be the top. We're back again, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill up this mold. And this one here, I don't really think I want it to be orange again. This one, I think I'm going to go more with a yellow color. You know, there's different colors of fall. You don't want each one to be exactly the same. So this one here, I'm going to go with yellow. And I'm taking it out of my little soap color kit again. Alcohol in our molds. And I had put a little bit of glitter on the bottom of these molds already. I think I want to add a little bit of red. And again, note to self, don't have a fan on when you do this if you're really particular about where your glitter lands. Okay, so we have fragrance oiled it. Let's pour. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other ones out of their molds because they're ready. And again, that's the beauty of melt and pour, is you don't have to wait the curing time. And okay, so the first melt and pour ones that we did were these in the black mold and the orange mold. They were our bats and our witches and our pumpkins. And it's been probably about, I want to say 2 hours. And these are ready to come out. They're ready. And so what I do is I go ahead and I just kind of separate the sides. It really, really helps them to come out if you do that. Just kind of pull on the sides and they pop right out. And here's the pumpkin. And it looks like, you know, again, that may have been where I went and inserted that fragrance oil, but it's fine. I'm just going to scrape it a little bit and it'll be fine. So that's a pumpkin. And I'm going to know better the next time to not forget the fragrance oil. There's a ghost. He's really cute. I mean, seriously, a kid isn't going to care that, you know, it didn't come out totally perfect. This is a pumpkin. Here's the skeleton head. These come out so nice and easy. This is a bat. Now it's funny, I like in the mold I like this bat better, but I actually think I might like this bat better. I also filled in that tray of the white ghosts. So let me again kind of press the sides, and they just pop. They pop right out. Oh, they're so cute. There's a ghost. So I've taken everything out of the molds, and I just want to show you, here they all are, and look at the beautiful fall colors. This was the yellow, and this was kind of the burnt, this one's a little soft still. This is the burnt umber, I call it. Oh, they smell so good. The burnt umber, I made that one with the melt and pour, and the scent for that one was red apple, and it smells so good. And the yellow was Arabian something or other from Brambleberry. So we have the yellow, the burnt umber, and then kind of the lighter pumpkin color. It smells unbelievable in here. I can't even handle how good it smells. And then of course we have our little things for kids, our little, I call them soaps for kids. I want to show you just really quickly how I go about wrapping melt and pour soap, just to give it a little bit more pizzazz, a little more, what would be the word? Just to make it look a little bit richer, I guess. I don't know. That's the wrong word, richer. It's totally the wrong word. I just like to package it really cute. I don't like to just put it in a bag and tie something to it and run. I like to kind of give it some character, and because the design is so pretty and it's on top, a lot of people will take this, they'll stick it in a bag, and they'll put a tie and kind of stand it up this way. I think it's so pretty down that this is how I wrap it. So I will leave a link below. You've seen from other wrapping videos, I get these really clear cellophane bags from Amazon. And like I said, I'll leave a link below. I can get 2 wrappings out of one bag. So what I do is I take the bag and I cut it, and it cuts really easily. Okay, I cut it so that I can get 2 wrappings out of this, and I will show you how I do that. And I think you can see. So this is a bag, one bag, and I've now cut it into 2 pieces, right? Okay, so let's work with one piece at a time. And the one thing about melt and pour that I don't care for is that it can be really sticky. So you really kind of have to work with a clean surface, like this is just freezer paper. Work with a clean surface, make sure your hands are clean, of course. I can't do this with gloves. God bless anybody that can. I sure would love to be able to do it with gloves, but I can't. There's just no way. So, my customers are going to have to just take my word for it that I've washed my hands, they're clean. But what I do is I take the soap and I put it upside down. Okay, let me see if you can see. See, it's on a piece of this clear half of a bag. And then what I do is I just start to wrap it up as if I'm wrapping a present. I use clear tape, and I'm not afraid to use a lot of it. But once you make your little fold, so here it is in the fold, this little pocket, this fold, what you can do then is just start to go around the soap. Just keep going, round and round you go, round and round. And it tries to kind of come out on you. It's okay. You're gonna catch it. You're gonna catch it all at the end. Okay. But you've wrapped it round now. And then I take one of my round labels, which I print out myself. And these are specifically labels that have ingredients for melt and pour soap on them. I don't use the same ones that I use for cold process soap. Okay. And what you can do is you just kind of catch it, and it works. You know, you just kind of put the label there on the back, and then every once in a while there'll be a little straggler, and that's okay. You know, just take a piece of tape and just make it a little tighter. I usually will do that in like kind of 4 spots. This one might not even need it. The tape is so clear that honestly you can't see it. And then what you end up with is you end up with a soap that is completely wrapped. So it's very sanitary. It's completely wrapped. And then I will go ahead and I'll go to my little ribbon. My little ribbon batch here. I don't skimp with ribbon. I just don't. And I advise you not to either, because just a tiny, tiny little bit of ribbon on your soap can sometimes make all the difference. So I'm just going to tie it like that. I'm going to go to the back and I'm going to kind of center this. And I'm going to put a piece of tape. They can still read the ingredient label that's back here. And I am going to cut. Oops. Okay, really? Hello. I'm going to cut this ribbon. Okay. And there it is. Just really cute. Simple packaging, because remember, you're not charging as much for these. So you don't want to put a ton of stuff on this that you're going to outprice what you're going to make on your soap. You just want something really, really simple. Okay, here's the ghost. I'm going to put him upside down. Really same concept. And these are smaller than the round, so they're actually they're easier to do. Just kind of start creasing it in. Remember, this is the back of the soap, so nobody's gonna see this, or nobody should really care. Let me put it that way. Okay, so there you go. And I think I'm gonna put a piece of tape, just because I can center my label a little better if everything is there. Okay. And again, these are pretty small, so the label is going to be kind of hard to get on. It might work for the finish this one. So this little guy, he needs some ribbon. Just a little bit, not a lot. I have way too much. There. There we go. It's just really cute. Tiny, tiny ribbon. Don't need big splashing ribbon because the soap is tiny. I'm going to tape it. This way it stays in place. And there's the ghost. Here they are. Let's get a little ribbon around it. Let's see where we can kind of do this so that we don't take away. Oh, here we go. We can do it like this. We can kind of do it diagonal. My hands are so slippery because I've made so much soap today. Okay, so we can kind of do it at a diagonal. And let's just tie it here. There we go, cute. And I think we can even put a little tape in the front. That tape is so transparent you can't see it. And let's just make this ribbon pretty. And there's the pumpkin. Really cute. Again, these, you're not charging a lot for them. So this is all you have to do to them. And again, they're just cute fillers. Fillers. So here's some that we did. Okay. And it's just the same would apply for the bats and the witch's hat and the skull. I would just do the same thing, and then I would put these all in a basket with some fall leaves, and I would say, you know, 3 for, if they're these round ones, I would say 3 for $10. These here, I would probably say 3 for $5 because they're tiny. But I'm telling you, they're great fillers. So I hope you stick around. The next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to be making fall bath bombs, and those are going to be wrapped really cute too. And then after that video, I'm going to do a video just exclusively of me wrapping some of the fall cake slices and guest soaps that I did in prior videos. I don't know, I just keep getting asked for more how do you wrap, how do you package videos. And so if that's what you want, that's what I'm going to give you. I'm happy to do that. I really hope the lighting is better. I so hope that's true. And I can't thank you enough for watching. I love getting comments, and I can't wait to continue to make even more videos. We're going to get to the point where we're going to start making holiday soap as well. So please give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will be uploading all tonight and tomorrow. Bye-bye, everyone.